Is it working yet, maybe? I'm having trouble with the tuning. There must be a storm brewing. It's nearly 3 o'clock. That's it then.
And welcome once again to Witches and Wizards Everywhere. My name's Icy Stevens, and I'm here with the quiz show that puts the sauce in sorcery, the Witchy Hour.
He's so dreamy. You told me you'd never seen him. I have now, look. Ooh. And he's got a dreamy voice too.
This week's captivating contest is taking place right here and now at the Salamander Witch School, who this week are challenging our mistresses of the art and 4-times champions, the girls with notions of oceans of potions, Pentangles Academy, under the leadership of their team captain, Deirdre Swoop.
Salamanders. We'll swallow them whole.
Charming.
There's confidence for you. Let's hear it for the mighty Pentangles. Your reputation goes before you, Deirdre.
Pentangles,
Are you ready
Millie.
for this one?
Somebody's got to support them, otherwise it's
Good,
no fun,
that makes
is it?
2 of us. Well, here's your
what's your
first
enemy?
question, Deirdre.
For a truly superior witch education in the traditional style, choose Pentangles, cited recently as one of the top 10 centres for sorcery. Brochure like this must have cost a fortune.
They attract the pupils, Constance, which means they can charge high fees, which means they can afford a glossy prospectus.
Which means they attract even more pupils. How many new girls are booked into Cackles for next year?
5. 2 more parents changed to Pentangles yesterday.
Standards have been allowed to slip. The moment we started to take on girls like...
Mildred Hubble?
Well, I did warn you. Word gets around. And then the parents of high-flying young witches...
Like Ethel Hallow?
...decide to send their children elsewhere. Pentangles gets the creme de la creme and we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Well, Pentangles ran rings round salamanders at spellbinding, but salamanders crawled ahead at potion picking to go neck and neck with pent-up Pentangles into the final round. And now it's just one tiebreaker question to decide who gets the money, books, and resources to help their school. Come on, listeners, let's hear a cheer from out there to in here. Feel like I can hear the listeners out there
Please, Mr.
cheering
It's the last round.
Take the last straw. I know we can loosen up hearing dogs, Ruby.
Oh, let us hear the end, Mr. Earl. You can tell us off as much as you like afterwards.
You
Please.
certainly have plenty of that.
Go on then.
Ready to croak? Then, here's the question. What is the spell for turning someone into a sausage?
No such spell.
Deirdre
Yes, there is.
Swoop.
It's a trick question. Alvarix Orcus Transdogamorphus. What were you pointing, Millie? Canis Germanicus Daxandurandus. Sausage dog, get it?
That's the right answer, and that means that it's Pentangles who go through the next round.
Millie! Oh no. You've done it now,
One more
Millie.
chance this series for a challenge to the powerful Pentangles.
Wait a minute.
School will it be? I'm pulling a postcard out of the witch's hat, and it says... Cackles Academy!
Yes! Who could be mad enough to enter us?
So, Cackles Academy. That's a
Shaggy?
turn up for the books. Bit of an unknown quantity, that one.
Mildred?
Confident, Deirdre?
We only entered for a laugh. We didn't think we'd actually get chosen. Oh, Mr.
Sure they will.
I'll change you back right away.
I don't know what to say.
Jadu? Mildred? Whatever possessed you girls? The shame! The public humiliation! Why?
For fun, Miss Cackle.
Fun! To set us up as stooges for this icy character?
There are prizes, Miss Hardbroom. Money for the school.
I don't want to hear another word.
How much money, Jadu?
Thousands.
And then there's the transdogrification of Miss Drill. All this stems from the misplaced kindness of allowing you girls space and time for leisure activities, which our young Dr. Frankenstein here has used to create this diabolical equipment.
Good to see you, Cackle. No, don't get up, old stick. I'm not staying. Just flew in to congratulate you. Getting on the Icy Stevens show and all that. Quite a break for a second division outfit like Cackle's.
Second division?
Low profile, know what I mean? Never thought you had the gumption for this kind of go-getting media exposure. Always took you for a stuffy old bird.
Miss Pentangle.
I expect you were attracted by the chance of feathering your nest, eh? Big cash prizes?
As a matter of fact, it was all an accident.
Oh, I see. Second thoughts, eh? Well, I'm not surprised. I expect the old chicken feeling came over you as soon as you realised who you were up against.
Now, look here.
Aha! Do I take that as a call to arms, Amelia Cackle?
We may have been drawn into this against our will, Phyllis Pentangle, but I'll tell you this. Cackle's cats are more than capable of chasing your owls off their high perches.
Are they indeed? Well, we'll see about that on Saturday. In the meantime, I suggest you brush the cobwebs out of your great hall and find someone who can make decent sandwiches. It's the challenger who hosts the show, you know.
Well, what are you standing gawping at? Out! Out! All of you! Sit in the potions lab with the rest of your class while we decide how to deal with you.
I felt, Miss Hartbroom, that the Academy's honour was at stake.
Well, Miss Cackle, it certainly is now.
Does this mean you won't be helping, Constance?
I shall cheer for the Academy on the day, Miss Cackle. Apart from that, my role will be strictly non-participatory.
Please.
One more? Ruby?
But what about Shadow and me? We started all this.
I don't need reminding of that, Mildred. And I don't see why you pair should profit from your misdeeds by being picked for the team. I have chosen Griselda for the upper school, whose knowledge of obscure spells is legendary. I shall be asking Sybil from the lower school, who is musical and knows her chanting. Ruby, because despite her disobedience, she has the most scientific brain in the school, and Ethel,
Because she's a Hallow.
because she's the only one who has a chance against Pentangle's most deadly weapon, Deirdre Swoop.
Deirdre Swoop? But she's all squawk. Even Mildred was beating her to the croak.
It's easy to sit amongst your friends, Enid, and make a lucky guess. It's quite another thing when you're live on the witchy hour and the pressure's on you to come up with the right answer. You aren't exactly famous for coming up with the right answer, are you, Mildred?
She just wants to sit next to Icy Stevens, Miss Cackle.
Miss Cackle, Mildred and I know all the Witchy Hour games. If we can't be in it, maybe we can be the team coaches.
That's the spirit.
Great.
When do we start?
Given that the contest is on Saturday, Mildred, I suggest right away.
Right, here's the last one for Grizzy. A spell to make things lighter than air. Just what you need when your eyelids feel like lead.
Ariatus, Impregnatus, Rosinflatus, Omnis Flatus. Well done, Grizz.
Why don't we do some last-minute potion practice?
Let's not. Come on, Ethel. You've been dragging your feet all week. What's your problem?
Being ordered about by you and Mildred, and wasting my time with stuff I know already, better than you, and 100 times better than her.
Pride comes before a fall, Ethel.
Oh, does it? If I get one question wrong, I'll fill my hat with cold porridge and eat it.
Well, there's another.
Another what, Miss Cackle?
Another inquiry from a prospective parent. All this publicity on the airwaves is having an effect, Miss Hartbroom. Like it or not.
I do not, Miss Cackle, like it at all. What kind of parent is interested in a school just because it's on the radio?
Elspeth Gray Malkin, press secretary of the Town and Country Witches Guild. Tanya Bodkin, producer of Channel 6's Witch Practice. Nora Nutmeg.
Oh, marvellous! The media mafia want to send us their wild child witches, do they? Being fashionable, Miss Cackle, is not the same as being successful.
And what do you call the girls working hard at spells and potions all day, every day for a week, being successful? Because that is what's been happening.
A plate of prawn sandwiches and a glass of white wine. That's what Mr. Stevens' agent says he likes for his lunch.
His agent? The man needs an agent to order his lunch. I expect he has to have the crusts cut off his bread.
Constance.
I don't want to hear any more. I would thank you, when he arrives, to act as if I wasn't here.
Icy Stevens. May I come in? Hello? What are your names?
Mildred.
Jadu.
Well, Mildred and Jadu, why don't you two both take me to meet the headmistress?
Right, yes, it's this way.
Are you two girls taking part in the contest?
No, we're only the coaches.
Ah, well, I hope you've coached them well. You're going to have your work cut out beating the mighty Pentangles.
I wouldn't waste your effort. You, junior girls, see to our brooms and organise some lunch for my little flock here.
We've already done that. It's all set up for you in the potions lab.
Good. We've had a long flight and we are all quite ravenous.
He's very handsome,
And very kind.
but he's a lot older looking than his photograph.
Excuse me. We'll have a large plate of everything. What's your name? Enid. And hurry.
If she speaks to me in that tone of voice one more time, she won't have to wait this afternoon for a showdown. Enid, you can't. She'll spoil everything. Miss Cackle says we're to treat them with courtesy. They're pentangles. They're our guests. You're soft on them. What? You were cheering for them last week against salamanders. For fun? Maybe you do want to get in with them, just in case Miss Hardroom throws you out and needs another witch school to go to. Enid, that's ridiculous.
Come along, you two. If our junior ticks twitter about like this at Pentangles when they're supposed to be serving at table, we give them a jolly good pecking.
Oh, do you?
So the producer turns to the wizard, who's all spiked and scratched with searching in the brambles, and says, "The trouble is you can't find the staff these days."
Another prawn sandwich, Mr. Stevens.
No, thank you. Perhaps we should ask your colleague to join us?
Miss Hardroom gives her apologies, but she has quite enough on her plate already.
Miss Hardbroom? My goodness, it is you. I had no idea. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have so much to thank you for.
Thank me?
Why, yes, your speech at the Witch Education Conference 2 years ago.
Standards. You were there?
I covered it for Sorcery FM. You were so impressive, so clear, so forthright. They didn't actually use my feature on air, but it was you that gave me the idea for the Witchy Hour.
Did I?
Why, yes. As to magic potions, you said we can only brew...
As well as we can remember.
Remember, which is what the whole show is about. It's fun for the youngsters, and it motivates them to remember their spells and potions. And they listen in there, thousands trying to guess the answers before the contestants.
Do they indeed?
You were my inspiration, Miss Hardbroom. Or may I call you Constance? Would you care for a sandwich?
No, thank you. But perhaps a glass of wine.
Hello all! Sorry to be late, Cackle. Been wading through applications, interviewing prospective pupils. Far too many. Still, I suppose it means second-class academies like yours can pick up the leftovers.
As opposed to stealing what is not theirs by making exaggerated claims in advertising brochures.
Now, the Witchy Hour is all about promoting goodwill and skill, but not about scoring points. It is essentially a friendly contest.
Please, Miss Cackle, you better come quickly. There's a big magic fight going on out by the broom sheds.
Stop flapping about and fight like a witch! You little dock-up oik! No wonder Cackles is feigning you're the kind of girl they let in.
Just stop a minute! The witch here is supposed to be about fun, not fighting.
Oh, really? How sweet.
Don't listen to her, Enid. Don't let her wind you up. You cowardly cheat! Albrecht's Orcus, Transfrogamorphus, Ilio
Stop that, Mildred!
Pulis Transformers!
Stop that at once! Deirdre Swoop! Come here immediately! Deirdre? Is that you? I don't care what you say, Cackle. It was a deliberate attempt to sabotage our chances. Just look at poor Deirdre. She can't possibly compete in that state.
Yes, look, we have been through all this. The show goes live in 5 minutes.
She'll have to give us a substitute.
Fine. How about...
No! I get to pick. I'll have her.
Oh. You don't want her. Why don't...
No, don't try and put me off. If she's smart enough, to do that to our team captain, then she knows her magic. Very well.
Miss Cackle.
Don't argue, Mildred. For the rest of the afternoon, your allegiance is to Pentangles. You will play for them as well as you would for your own school.
Do really well, and you can have a permanent transfer.
And that's Griselda Blackwood for Cackles. Quick on the croaker there. Very well, Grizzy. What is the Foster's effect?
The term is applied to the tendency of magic to backfire or cause random disaster if misused.
That is almost what I have on my card. It's misused or overused. That's worth 5 points. But Cackle's cat's still not within clawing distance of Pentangle's owls, who owe much of their success today to their new team member, Mildred Hubble. You've hardly put a foot wrong so far, have you, Mildred?
No.
Well, don't look so down about it. Here's your own question, and the last of this half. In the Witch's Code, what is Rule 19, Paragraph 8?
It is not customary. No, that's not it. No retaliation after retransfogrification. A witch who has been changed into an animal for the purposes of self-defense, on being changed back, must admit defeat.
Well done, Mildred. It's almost as if you had the book before you. Well, we still have the second half before us, but before that we'll take a music break and a word from our sponsors.
The Witching Hour is brought to you by
We'd like a word with you, Mildred. Outside.
Ingredients for 4,000 years.
Traitor! I'm not! You've been our friend for nearly 3 years now, and you never let on you knew all that stuff.
You've been acting dim. Why?
To get our sympathy, now she's got a chance to go to posh Pentangles. She's suddenly become a clever clogs.
No, that's not it. I've worked it out just now. It was reading those magic books over and over again, trying to coach you. Some of their magic's gone into me, a kind of spellbook spell. I can see the pages in front of me.
Yeah, you look like it.
Well, stop doing it. We're being slaughtered because of you.
She can't, Enid. Miss Cackle asked us to do her best for them.
I think she's done more than her best. It's about time she started doing her best for us.
Mildred, you have 5 more seconds to name that chant, or I'll have to give the opposition a try. 5, 4, 3,
Over the
2...
mountains on Midwinter's Eve. It's a medieval Icelandic witch's flying chant.
Well, Cackles have crept up 10 points thanks to
Well,
Sybil
no
the
wonder
Star
you didn't
Chanter.
want to give me that one, Cackle. I can't understand why she wasn't in your team in the first place.
Neither can I. Looks like Icy's game has succeeded where we have failed in educating Mildred Hubble.
But Pentangle's still slightly ahead.
I wouldn't put money on that, Miss
Time.
Cackle.
Magic ingredients from hags and horrocks are on the table in little pots. 2 members from each team has a cauldron and some H&H self-heating starter. I call out the potion, then it's the first to make it, take it, and make it work. And it's, wait for it, a shrinking potion. Off you go. And Mildred seems to know exactly what she's doing, as usual.
Don't worry, I'll get her.
She's heading confidently for the henbane and hemlock. It's as though she were reading from an invisible list.
Stop pushing. I wasn't pushing.
But something's gone wrong. Mildred appears to be stuck.
Ow, you've done it again. I never did it in the first place.
As you can hear, there is a bit of a ding-dong developing here.
If you keep on doing that, I shall be forced to defend myself under the Witch's Code. Rule 7, Paragraph 3.
Time for the referee, I think.
Alfrix, Orcus, Transfrogomorphus.
Take it easy, girls.
Rufus, Bothus, Randi,
That's Tonic.
He's off to the pond.
I'll catch him.
What'll we do? What'll we do?
Stop twit-twooing, woman! We're still on air.
Yes. Well, listeners, that was a witchy hour first. Icy Stevens has just hopped off for an early bath and left me, hot stuff head hardbroom, to take you through the last round. Don't worry, we'll get through this. No one shrank, except in my estimation, in that last round, so Pentangles are still in the lead. But there is a chance for Cackles. If they can guess this last high-scoring question. Fingers on your klaxons. Ready? from the Witch's Code. What is rule number 8? Effie.
Never forget to keep your broomstick dry. No. Never mix leftover potions. No. Oh, I don't understand. I know all the rules in the book.
Time's up. Mildred.
There is no rule number 8. It's simply there to remind us that there's a rule for everything, even if we do not know what it is.
Well, that would make Pentangles the clear winners. Were it not for the fact that this is the last of the series, and Icy being still indisposed, and seeing as Pentangles' prime player has been a Cackles girl, Mildred Hubble, I have decided, in the spirit of the witchy hour, to declare this contest a draw. And to share the prizes between the two schools.
So, you won't consider my offer of a little nest at Pentangles, Mildred?
No, thank you. I'd rather stay with my friends.
Well, I shan't ask twice. I expect some of our glory will have rubbed off on Cackles after today. Ha! Come on!
I don't know what it's going to be like living with Miss Memory.
Don't worry, you won't be. Miss Harper says it's an enchantment called Libris Eideticus, and that the spell will wear off after a few days.
Never mind, Millie. At least you got to work with Icy Stevens.
Yes. Have you seen him with Miss Harper after she changed him back from being a frog?
Did she use a spell, do you think? Or the old fairy tale method?
You were wonderful. Even as a frog, I could see that. We'll rename the show Super Witch Challenge. You were made for radio, the voice of authority. This will be worth a great deal of money. About 100 times more than you're paid to work here. We'll be working together, of course, as part of IC Productions. We could leave now. Jet to the south of France, start making plans. We need to be close.
Your hand is on my arm.
Well, surely you wouldn't want to let slip an offer like this one.
That was so funny. And I've just seen something even funnier.